I would now like to introduce my good friend Arthi Vijaykumar. Arthi is a 13-year-old girl that attends Sharon Middle School and is in the 7th grade. She has many hobbies, including to dance, draw, read, play the violin, code, and use technology. Her favorite color is light blue and turquoise, and she also loves cross-country and track. Please welcome my dear friend Arthi.
Come on, Arthi.
Hi, my name is Arthi Vijaykumar, and thank you Arjun, Kate, and Zaina for your wonderful speeches. I never knew about animals or photography or even dreams at all. So today I'm going to be talking about the truth. The truth is something that people tend to overlook every day and all the time. And I'm going to be talking about 3 things with the truth. 1, I'm going to be talking about what the truth is. 2, I'm going to be talking about how the truth can help us and how it hurts us. And 3, I'm going to be talking about the effect of a truth and a lie. So what even is the truth? Well, the Merriam-Webster Dictionary says that truth is, and I quote, for property as of a statement of being in check with fact or reality, end quote. Now that looks like a big jumble of words, and it probably makes your brain go a little fuzzy right now, but really all it means is that the truth matches up with what really happened. But what happens when you get 2 truths in a situation, or you get a situation where you can't actually identify the truth? Let me give you an example. Say you and your best friend go to an ancient history museum, and there you see a very old tapestry. In this tapestry, you want to go close to it. So you approach it, but before you do, you blindfold yourselves. You enter the area where the tapestry is, and you pick up the edge of the tapestry, and it's all stringy and has fibers on it, and it feels like thread or spaghetti or something. But your friend actually feels the middle of the tapestry, and she's like, it feels more like paper, or if you want a food reference, bread, but it doesn't feel anything like string. What are you talking about? So here's a situation. What does the tapestry actually feel like? How does the truth come in this situation? Well, this has actually baffled scientists for years, because the truth is a concept that we can't actually imagine, or we can't picture it. It's like trying to imagine the universe. It's too big. So when we look at things like this, we basically take a few guidelines and then we match up what we know to those guidelines to try and understand an overall broad picture. But we can't actually deeply understand this. This is something that's way out of our reach. So now I want to talk about how the truth can help us and hurt us. I'm sure that you guys have heard all your life that honesty comes first, and the truth is always there. But it's really a balance. You have to be very careful about what you say and when you say it. Take an example like this. What if you tell the truth to the wrong person? If you tell the truth to the wrong person, you can actually end up hurting yourself. And it can almost be negative, and you'll be wrapped up in what you said. So you have to be very careful about when you tell the truth and when you don't. Now, the truth can help us in many ways. It strengthens relationships and it builds connections. Without the truth, we wouldn't all be here. Because without the truth, we wouldn't have friends or family, because the truth is what holds us together. So another way that I want to talk about the truth can hurt you is sometimes people need a little bit of a booster in life. Sometimes people are in a really dark time, and there is really nothing to light a little fire there. Sometimes you need to give a little fire, and it's part of being a friend. But you have to be very careful about when you do it and how you do it and what you do with it. Finally, today, I want to talk about the effect of a truth and a lie. So I'm sure you've all heard the effect of a lie, and Parish Uncle says there's a really good Taylor Swift song with the lyrics matching it.
You go tell my friend, I tell your friend, or something like that.
We are never ever getting back together.
Again, yes.
So I'm sure you've all heard that classic scenario, but it's absolutely true. lies spread like fire, or like those ads where the ink drops on a paper and before you imagine, the whole paper is black. So think about it like this. You tell a lie to your so-called acquaintance, and they tell it to someone else, and to tell it to someone else. And this goes on and on and on and on, until finally the last person to hear this is actually your really close friend. They come back to you and are like, "What's up? You never told me this. I never heard this about you. Like, what happened here?" And you're kind of caught up in a situation. What do? Do you tell your friend the truth? Do you lie to her too? Or if you tell her the truth, are you willing to lose all your other friends? So in situations like this is why we don't lie. And it's very important to know what lies to do and what lies to not do. Because everything is really a balance in life. Taking too much of one thing or too much of the other thing will end you tipping the scale. And once you tip the scale, you fall. It's like walking a tightrope. You can't step one line out of place. The effect of a truth can also be hurtful sometimes and helpful too. The effect of a truth, like I said before, can be helpful because it, like I said, strengthens relationships. And the truth is basically the foundation of our entire community. You can only make acquaintances with the lies because lies basically, they don't give you a sense of a basis, where to start. They don't give you something in common that you share or something where you can form an ability of trust. They're more like someone that you can just talk to pass the time ticking away. But the truth actually makes true friends and relationships. It lets you trust your family. It lets you trust your friends, that they'll keep your secrets, that they'll be there for you when you really need them. And the truth is a really big part of our life. So I had a friend, and she had a 4.0 GPA, and she was really, really active. So one day I asked her how she does all these things, and she told me that anything is possible when you lie.
Oh, good.
Thank you all for listening to my speech today. And in conclusion, I talked about 3 things. One is, what is the truth? 2, how does the truth help us and hurt us? And 3, what are the effects of a truth and a lie? Any questions?
Yes, the only truth I know is that if you answer truthfully, when your wife asks you, "Does this dress make me look fat?" you sleep in the basement. So is it good to be truthful when your wife asks you this question?
The young man in the front said, "Is it good to be truthful when your wife asks you this question?" Well, I'm kind of caught up in a situation here where I don't want to take sides. I think this is the situation where you have to walk the tightrope. It depends on where you want to sleep.
Awesome.
Any other questions? Thank you for all listening to my speech today, and I hope you have a nice day.